Hello and welcome to Think Share. My name's Zach. I'm here to bring to you been thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to, reading about that doesn't belong in math class. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Turn some better light on. So, past I don't know, 48 hours or so, I've been having so this guy NF. His real name is Nathan. I don't know what his last name. Nathan something with an F in front of it. But I've really been enjoying some of his music recently. Let's see, what's his last name? That's Nathan Forrestein. So Nathan Forrestein, he's this rapper. Um, his one of his top songs right now is "Let You Down," and he talks about how um, I think it was his father that really let him down when he was growing up. And one of the other songs that really I have a hard time sort of appreciating it because I had a really loving family, and I grew up very privileged to have such a great family. But it sounds like his mother overdosed on pills. As I don't know if it was when he was growing up, or whatever, but he made a song about why would you leave, talking about his mom and his experience with his mom and how the way he remembers her is really bad. So I think what I really love about this guy is, he doesn't occur to me as violent, but apparently a lot of his critics say that he is violent and he, doesn't speak well. But the name of one of his songs is called Therapy Session, and he talks about how, he raps about how rapping and music and rhyming, like that is his therapy. And what I really loved about it is because I've been doing that similarly. It's much more poetry. It's not nearly as skillful as the way he does it, but I totally can relate with him where he uses that art form as an opportunity to voice his concerns, voice his opinions, and talk about whatever it is that he wants to talk about. And if it's that he's having trouble coping with dealing with the loss of his mom, that's what he raps about. So I've been really just loving. I love the emotion that he has in his songs because I feel like there's so much music out there that is just totally emotionless. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't listened to the entire, I think it's Culture 2 or something, the Migos album, but they're all like, I've heard Stir Fry, I've heard BBO, I don't know what the other one was that I listened to, but they're kind of heartless. They're just kind of like club songs, like they're, I guess, stylish or something, but there's no authentic human behind it all. And I think what I really loved about NF is I feel like he really lets himself out. He lets his emotions out. He lets his personality on his sleeve for everyone to see and judge him for. And I feel like that's kind of rare. I feel like you don't see enough people really talking about the struggles of life or the bad times of life or the emotions of life, and people are more interested in being happy all the time. And I talked about this yesterday, and it's something I forget what I tell it. It was a life of emo or something, right? And I was just talking about how I was having some emotions yesterday, and so I realized at some point there's nothing wrong with having those emotions, and it's okay to just be okay with them. Oh, my light shut off. Um, so I really look up to this guy, and despite the fact that he's I think a year younger than me, but he seems to be really successful. He's gained a lot of popularity, but yeah, just I love how real he really occurs, and I feel like that's missing from the music industry as a whole. I asked so if you look up Migos BBO, it I don't swear on this channel, but I'm just gonna say the BBO stands for Bad Bitches Only, and I asked one of my students what they thought of the song, and they're like, "Oh, I don't remember what they said, but I remember seeing someone on YouTube. I was like, I don't know if I'd say trolling, but I was commenting a lot on this person that did a reaction to hearing the new Migos album, And I was just saying, how do you feel about the fact that this is disrespectful to women? And I feel like so many people don't really listen to the lyrics of the songs, and so as they consume them, as they listen to them, as they make them more popular, at the same time they're making it okay. They're so by being fans, by listening to these things, they're actually making it more okay for the rap industry. Really, anyone that wants to make talk that way, they make it okay. So I thought it was really interesting when I was commenting on someone's YouTube channel about like what they thought about the fact that it was a very disrespectful song to women. Was they said, no, you're taking it all the wrong way. I was like, wait, so are you saying that you would call your girlfriend or your mother the B word? And they're like, well, I mean, some girls take it as a compliment. I was like, I don't know what girls you are talking to that take that as a compliment, but I think that's a problem. I don't know that people have really claimed that enough that it's now their own. You know, I know there are groups of people out there that have reclaimed insults so that they can no longer be hurt by them. I don't think the B word is one of them for as a whole for the population. And so yeah, I guess that just affirms a little bit more why I really love NF. Hi Zachary Watson. It's still weirded out because that's my name. What's good is I've been enjoying some NF music lately. Let me know. Looks like there's 3 people watching right now. What are some of the types of music you got, y'all? I'm trying not to say guys these days. Well, I've been trying to do that for a couple of years and try to say humans. What what kind of music do you humans listen to? I was thinking about that this morning. Why I don't like saying you guys, and I was thinking about since we all the time, and I feel like every other YouTuber out there, they say like, hey you guys, or like, what's up guys? What if I just like talk to an entire group of people like, and I just called them girls? Like, would people be offended by that? And technically it shouldn't be weird, because if we can call an entire classroom split up 50-50, if we can call half of them the incorrect gender, then we should be able to do the opposite. But I'm really curious as to what would happen if we were to actually challenge the status quo and do that. Do you listen to country and rap? How's it going, Alex? Courtney, what are some of the artists that you listen to, or what are some of your favorite songs that are going on these days? I was telling someone in our class the other day about NF, because I feel like he just speaks his truth. I feel like there's not enough rappers out there that really speak their truth and cut to the bone and really get authentic with things. That's kind of all I had for today. I was trying to brainstorm what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I wasn't coming up with anything good. I had something good earlier on in the day, but I kind of lost it, and then have just been enjoying the crap out of NF lately. So I thought I would share my enjoyment and love for this new artist that I found. I guess the only other thing I'd share from the day is from yesterday, the colleague of mine that came over to me and said, and kind of cheered me up with some chocolate. I brought her 2 origami creations, one which is to look at and one which is to take apart, put back together as sort of a toy for her students, and sort of decorations as well. How to regain a parent's trust. You should do a Monday motivational video. I could probably do that on Mondays. How to regain a parent's trust. Well, I would start with relating this to like a student and how a student could regain trust with me. So the way a student would lose trust with me is by lying enough times that it's really obvious that they're lying and you can't count on them for things. So I mean, trust is really the relationship between the words that come out of your mouth and your actions that follow, is that people believe that they're equal. There's no trust when those 2 things are no longer equal, when the words that come out of your mouth are no longer believed to be the same on the other side. So when that trust is broken, when there's no relationship between actions and words, the way you start building that back up is you start making a lot more promises that you're actually going to keep. So, for example, I broke my trust with one of my classes from yesterday to today. I told them that I was going to do something, and then I didn't do it. I don't know how much trust I lost with them, but I know that it could take a pretty solid amount of action to back myself back up. You know, it could take 2 or 3 or 4 big promises that I actually deliver on to regain that. So the question is, my question back to you would be, what is the trust that was lost? What do you now no longer have abilities for because the trust was lost? So for example, some students that say, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And then they do other things. I now ask them, when can I expect you to come back? And I force them to give their word about something so I can test to see, are they going to be their word? Are they interested in building trust? And some students kind of prove that they are interested in building trust back. Some of them kind of don't care and they just want to get out of the classroom. So that's one thing. But yeah, I would say a way to build trust back up is make a lot more promises and deliver on those promises to the point where they can count on your word being equal to your actions. Where's the dancing class video coming out? That's right. I'll tell you what, I've been having so much fun live streaming, and it is so much less work to do live streaming, and I've been having a lot better results with live streaming that I haven't wanted to edit. There's one video that I've been working on that I've taken like probably 2 or 3 hours on it. So the idea of that video is if you wanted to have a pride flag in your room as a student, some ideas for what you could do. I've already shot the video. I've already put in a ton of work, and I was thinking to myself, because live streaming is working so well, but it usually doesn't, I don't think any of the live streams have eclipsed like 150 views or anything. I've been thinking I want to only try to make like pre-recorded, edited videos that I think could reach like over 1,000 views or something. So I've realized that cutting out all the ums and all the so's and all the little verbal things that make my voice annoying, they're not worth cutting out because people don't even seem to care enough because they actually watch more live streams. So to answer your question, Alex, I know I got off track there. To answer your question, I would plan to have it next week, and I think you could definitely count on it happening during vacation because I'll have a bit more time to actually do some editing. I do want to come out with a music video for April vacation, if not 2. I have like the full idea for the thank wall video. I just gotta, I was on the live stream the other night, problem solving how to actually make that happen. I didn't take the actions that I said I would based on it, which was to offer pizza and to put a little flyer, blast email to people asking to do it with somebody. But I do plan on doing that next week so that I can record and produce it for April vacation. And I would really like to, I'd like to finish the SOHCAHTOA Rockstar video, but I think I could definitely do the teacher dancing video pretty easily because they're like, I think I did 3 clips of me dancing, and it wouldn't take up much time, and I would just commentate on it a little bit. Let's see. I wanted to go to a college softball game time at UMass, and my parents say I'm only 15 and it's 2 hours, but I'm with older people they know. So Courtney, what do you think would be the trust issue there? Is it that they don't, because you're only 15, they don't think you're mature enough for something? So it might not be trust, it could be maturity. And I'm not sure necessarily how to build maturity, but I guess it could be making more promises, kind of pushing the envelope on some of the things that you're asking them to do, but then really delivering on those promises, like I kind of said before. Alex, I'm glad to hear you prefer the live videos. Yeah, because I feel like I get to actually talk with you guys more. A and F, it's been my favorite artist for a while. Nice to see we have similar taste in music. Yeah, Educate Society, I feel like, what are some of your other favorite artists? Because I've been really enjoying him lately. I think my favorite song that actually I've had the one stuck in my head has been Let You Down. I've also had stuck in my head Why Would You Leave? But I think the one I've enjoyed the most, because it's really about sort of his grind and his not caring about other people's judgments, and you know, doing what he wants to do, is I think it was No Name. And I also liked, what was the other one? I think Therapy Session. Just, I love hearing him like go off and like really spit those emotions out. They don't trust the people that are going to be there, which makes no sense because I've been to college games before. It could be the zoo. It could be just that the zoo's a dangerous place, UMass Amherst. Are going to be there, which makes no sense. Well, it might not be that it doesn't make sense, but you could keep prodding at them and trying to figure out what's the angle that they're disliking about this time versus previous times. That might make a difference. I've been listening to your streams without video to sleep. Really? Seriously? That's that's kind of cool. Well, thank you for all the watch time that you're contributing to me, and I hope that I'm entertaining or valuable enough, or maybe I'm so boring that I just straight put you to sleep. Damn. How Could You Leave Us is probably the song that hit me the hardest, since it was about his mom. But No Name is on workout playlist right now. Word. I totally agree with that. What was the other thing I was just gonna say? Oh, so I'm pretty excited. I'm really close. I have to double check. I don't know what it says on there right now, but I'm really close to 500 subscribers. Last I checked, I was at 492 like an hour or two ago. And I'm now I'm still at 492. So if anyone's interested in helping me make that 500 happen today, I mean, there's 5 people on. If each of you got one person, I would be then 3 away. So if there's someone standing nearby you, or in the same room, or in the same building or something, if you want to help me out real quick and just say, hey, give me your phone, I'm going to subscribe to this channel that I enjoy listening to. That would be greatly appreciated. I don't know if I told you guys, but my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by June. I've been grinding daily I'm just been trolling through the comment sections. You know what? I'm gonna share this with all of you, because I think it's been an interesting concept. I think I'll probably make a separate individual video for this, but one of the best ways, I think I've gotten somewhere around 100 subscribers in the past like 3 or 4 weeks, and this is how I've been doing it. I go to the comment section of popular videos that are similar to mine in nature. So like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tim Ferriss, Bigger Pockets, what's that guy's name? Infinite Waters. I'm probably gonna have a couple new go-tos, but the people that come out with almost daily content that just get a couple hundred comments, I go into there, I post a comment, try to be sort of upfront. If I can't be upfront, what I do is I go through the comment section, because this is all the active people that do the commenting, and I click on them and I see, are they similar to me? Do they have content themselves, or are they just like a user that doesn't create anything? And then I go in and I find some of their videos that I can relate to. I comment on them, I subscribe to them, and what I'll end up having, which I haven't realized, is how valuable this is. So I'll show you on the iPad here. So when you go into, let's see, Yeah, so I was doing this earlier. So when you go into here, right, and you go down to the bottom, see how these are all your subscriptions right here. So it's sort of like a live feed. It's almost like all your favorite TV shows. And what you can do is you can scroll through. These are all your subscriptions. And I've been thinking to myself, Jesus, I've been subscribing to so many people lately that I feel like I should just have an insane feed of people coming out with new stuff like every minute. But I'm probably subscribed to like, it's gotta be a couple hundred channels by now. And like, it's been surprising how not often this thing just gets blown up. Like, I wonder if I'm missing out on some things. But I just scrolled through here, so like, looking at, all right, well, that guy's live. I might consider going on there if I weren't live myself, but let's see. So bestbookbits.com. I've been enjoying them. I pretty much able to crush audiobooks in like 15 minutes.
Bestbookbits.com presents Drive It.
All right, so this guy's got 1,000 subscribers, and if I go in here down to the comments, wide open. So I'll drop one in there because he'll probably get 50 or 100 views on this. And so sometimes subscribers will come through there, like they'll see my comment. You know, I try to really dig deep on that first one so that if someone else were about to comment, because I mean, if you're going down to the comment section, that usually means you're probably a more active user and are interested in taking more extra actions. So I go down there. Once I go down there, yeah, try to make like a deep comment. If there's not anything great I can come up with, I'll just say, you know, I'm interested in more stuff in the future, and I just subscribed, and I just have this I have this really awesome feed of videos that I get every day now. Is there a reason why you stream late? Because sometimes I miss them on a school night. Honestly, Alex, it's because I'm lazy and I'm human and I do things last minute, and I've committed to doing a daily video. And I mean, oftentimes I'll end up releasing videos. Like back when I wasn't doing as much live streaming, I was doing a lot of these videos like at night, and every once in a while I do 2 of them so I could queue up the one for the next day, so that I was doing the editing in the day, and then the next day I would come out with it. So it's really just because, like right now, my wife just went to bed because she's been feeling pretty sick. We've been watching Westworld, and she wanted me to catch up to her because she watched an extra episode today. This is her day off, so I watched that, and so that's why I'm up right now on school nights. Sometimes it's like both me and Alyssa will be working on stuff, and I'll need to take a break, and this will be a good opportunity to make my video. But yeah, ideally I would like to make these videos happen earlier. I don't know how to do polls, but I'd be interested to do some kind of a poll or something, trying to find out what's like an optimal time for people to come watch me. Why did they call you down to the office today? Can we meet your cat? They called me down to the office because I had a meeting this morning, and I must have been late by a minute or something, but as they were calling me, like I walked into that office for the meeting. And actually our cat is not living with us right now. Our cat is currently living in Chelmsford, where my in-laws are, and living with the other cat that's going to be coming over once we do all the renovations. One of the main reasons we don't have the cat here is because we think there could be lead paint in a bunch of the baseboards, and we don't want them scratching away at it and then getting lead poisoning, which apparently Alyssa sees a ton of at work. So it's not going to be until we fix up the downstairs that we bring Samson back to join us. I don't have any readily available pictures of Samson, but yeah, I'd love to bring on my cat for the live stream one of these days. Maybe one of the days when I'm up there, or after the renovations are done. Well, thanks for listening to me today. Unless we have any other questions, I think we're gonna call it a night. We got 1 week until April vacation. I would invite you all to start thinking about what are those things that you don't. I mean, April vacation for me and February vacations, like that's my time to grind out like the stuff that I don't have time to do during the week, that I really want to do. That's maybe a little more on the creative side and takes time. So like music videos and stuff. So I'm excited for April vacation so I can work on those things and hopefully really get a bunch of housework done. We just sort of dressed up one of the rooms downstairs so that we could gut the ceiling and take out all the knob and tube wiring. It's gonna get messy tomorrow. It's gonna be dope. I'm gonna try to get wavy hair with Caucasian hair over vacation. Wait, I gotta read that again. I'm gonna try to get wavy hair with Caucasian hair over vacation. I don't know what that means. Is this wavy hair? What I have here? I don't know what that means. But okay. I guess I could see that being a goal. All right, humans. Thank you for watching. If you want to see me hit 500 subs in the next, well, if you want to see me hit it sooner than later, help me out. We're only 8 away. That's all for tonight. If you like this, give it a like. If you want more, subscribe. Hit the bell if you want notifications every time I come out with something new. Thank you for watching. Stay weird, humans. Yay! Seriously, I have 499? No way. I don't even believe you. If so, that's kind of insane because I just had 92 a minute ago. No way, 7 people in the past like 5, that's nuts. 499. That's 7 in like less than 10 minutes. That's crazy. I think now every live stream I'll have to point out something like that. I don't know if it was the people that were on that made that happen, but that's nuts. Thank you. I don't know how I'm gonna fight. Now I feel like I just need to grind away for another like couple minutes after this live stream to get up to 500. So I can celebrate 500 tomorrow. Well, thank you again to the viewers, especially if you're some of the people that helped me just go up 7 more subscribers. Ooh, that might have just made my day. Well, thank you, and I'll sign off like I was gonna sign off before. Seriously, thank you guys so much. This is exciting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, really? At 500? No way. It says 501! Are you kidding me? How is that possible? That means 2 just happened while we're speaking. Yes! I want to go wake up my wife, but I don't want to wake up my wife because I don't want to wake her up. Thanks, Courtney. Whoa. Courtney, you've been, let's see, I think I had like maybe 150 back in September or something. So you've been around for the ride. Let's see, I've gone up 350 since you saw me last. So since you met me, so 150. That's I've gone up like 250% in size. Wow. This is super cool. One of my goals was to make it to 500 for April. I've been around since 100 something on the Zach Watson channel. Yeah, I definitely recognize your name. Are you how did you come to find me, Wolfie? Is that Wolfie Lilac? Wolfalac. How did you come to find me, Wolfalac? I can't believe it just broke. I can't believe it just went up like 9 subscribers in less than half an hour. My mind's like blown right now. If it were daytime and my wife were awake, I'd be flipping the flip out right now. Someone in my history class told me about told me about you freshman year in your history class. 1,000, here you go. Been watching since and messaged you maybe last year on Facebook a year ago about your book. Did I answer you? I feel really guilty if I didn't. Or do you go to... Are you from Lowell? Well, I'm glad to hear that I was on top of that. Now you know the one funny thing, Jacob Brody, if you remember from... Oh, yes. Now I remember. Yeah, I remember that. All right, yeah, I didn't put the name with the user together. Well, thank you for telling me that you fall asleep listening to these. That's pretty inspiring because like I know sometimes I'll fall asleep to audiobooks because I'll have an audiobook on and I kind of just like keep listening to it, but instead of having white noise, I just like listening to that. So I like to think that I'm learning in my sleep, or like my brain is just like growing as I sleep by like you know how like a parent. I think this is a thing, is that I'm pretty sure there's parents out there that like have their toddlers like listen to classical music or like words or stuff in their sleep so that they're actually hearing like the English language in really simple terms. So I wonder sometimes if I fall asleep to like inspirational or positive things, if that helps my growth. You know, a podcast before bed, so that makes me feel like a podcast that just sinks in because I don't have the YouTube Red, so I have to leave my phone screen on at night. Oh, wait, what's YouTube Red? Does that allow you to just listen to it and like turn the screen off on your phone? I don't really know anything about YouTube Red. And by the way, I'll say this too, is an interesting thing that happens. So I wonder if this happens for students with iPass. Oh, good to know about the YouTube Red. Is so the danger of having readily available access to like your subscribers, your views, your watch time, and all that stuff is it gets really addictive to keep checking it all the time. No more subs in the past few minutes. Still at 501, it says. I used to have YouTube's Red, so I actually might have made you some money using YouTube Red watching channel in past. Interesting. So I don't think I could have made money yet. So I know the old rules for, what do you call it? The old rules for monetization, I think, where you just had to have 10,000 subscribers and then you could monetize. Now it's that you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time per year, and then you need 1,000 subscribers. 500, so you can monetize now. I don't think you can with 500. I'm pretty sure the current one is you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch time hours per year, which I have totally lucked out in that Super Bowl reaction video, which I think is up to like 76,000 views or something. That in itself made up, I think that's almost made up 4,000 watch time hours. So, these live streams actually help a lot. So like if I have 6 or 7 average people on a live stream and I go for half an hour, or I go for like an hour or something, sometimes that turns into like 4, 5, 6 hours of watch time. So I mean, I think the most watch time I've had yet on a live stream was I went for an hour and a half on, I think it was a snow day or something, and it peaked at like 11 people watching, but there ended up being about 9 hours of watch time in that hour and a half. So let's see, if you had 1 hour of watch time every day, that would put you at 365 per year. 10 hours of watch time, that would put you at 3,650. So you have to have like an hour and a half, or no, you need like 11, 12, 13 hours of watch time per day to be able to keep that up. So I have until next February that I have to start producing that kind of consistency before that could wear off. Because you have to have 4,000 like consistently, I think. But at the same time, I was also reading somewhere where it's like, once you hit the 4,000, you're good as long as you're not a one-hit wonder and you are somewhat consistent. I made 2,000 subscribers from doing daily and I had monetization, but the channel is old, so keep grinding, trust me. Okay. Well, why'd you stop? Why'd you stop after you hit 2,000? I'm curious. We'll have to talk with you more about this in the future. Like, why'd you decide to stop, and what was your channel? Was it this channel that you're talking to me on? Let me search it right now. Wolf. You should make a song about foil. I feel like foil is so self-explanatory that it doesn't even need a song, but I could possibly do that because I didn't enjoy the content I was making. When I tried different content, most people were subscribed for that content, not me as a creator. What kind of content were you creating? Wolf. And oh yeah. Oh shoot, I wasn't even on there. Typical guy, crowbar. Official video. Gaming fans don't want to do knowledge and real life stuff. Feel that. I mean, dude, you have 2,000 subscribers. I mean, you could, just by having those, I mean, people might unsubscribe, but I think if you just started talking about like real stuff, like you'll get there. I would be happy to sort of boost you off and try to help you reclaim your sort of YouTube identity. You lost 400 subscribers in 6 months. Was that because you were putting out the new content? How long has your video been going? This one currently has been going on for, it's 37 minutes now. Music things, real stuff. Yeah, Wolflack, we should find a way to collaborate so we can relaunch your YouTube career as someone just talking about real life instead of gaming and stuff. I would be happy to help you do that. Maybe we could do an interview or something, or one of the things I've been doing to collaborate, which I haven't done much this lately, but I will send a couple questions over to someone via email. I'll have them answer it via video, and I'll have them upload it as an unlisted video, and then have them send me the link. I download the video, and then I ask the question verbally, and I put them side by side so it looks like I'm literally interviewing them. So we could definitely do that. And I think a fun question to ask you would be like, you know, what was it like getting up to 2,000 subscribers, and what was it that had you switch from gaming to wanting to, you know, talk about real life stuff? And yeah, I don't know, we can go down that road. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, we did Facebook Message or something. Let's come up, and you know what you could even do? If you wanted to ask yourself a question that you would want to answer on my channel, ask yourself the question, and then I'll just ask you that question for the video, and we'll turn it into an interview. I can do it in multiple days. Well, we'll do it over multiple days. What things about real life would you talk about? I appreciate that. I love the interviews. Glad to hear it. And where you offered to be a chaperone for the June? Yeah, Courtney, referring to that, I'll wait for Wolflag to answer to Alex, but yeah, I thought it was the junior prom. So one of the students came up to me and asked me if I wouldn't mind being a chaperone, And then the other day I asked the advisor, and they said, we have plenty of chaperones. We don't need any help. So there's a little part of me that was a little sad because I was kind of excited. I kind of wanted to go to the junior prom, even though I don't know, I don't even think I know any, well, I know a couple of juniors, but I would have had a great time dancing my face off and chaperoning. I feel like I'd like to think I'm a good role model when it comes to dancing because I'm appropriate and I'm goofy. And sometimes people just need someone goofy on the dance floor so that they feel better about themselves. And I feel like I can provide that sometimes. I just don't mind looking stupid a lot. It's good for high school kids, I think. I try to always point out when I make mistakes on the whiteboard or the smart board or something, because I'd like to think that perpetuates other people to feel free to make mistakes. You should chaperone my jet. Courtney, I'll definitely do it. The only thing you got to do is make sure make sure your advisor knows that. So if I agree to it, just make sure your advisor knows and they're counting on me so that they're not telling me a couple days beforehand, like, nope, we get our chaperones, we're all set. I don't know if it's hard to get chaperones or whatever, but I never really had any specific theme. That's why I just haven't started right now. Just been focusing on music. I need to learn how to write my thoughts down on the spot. You don't have to write anything, just do live stream, man. Do what I do for now. Or, most of the time I'm shooting from the hip, so I think the way that the ThinkShare sort of started was, well, let me walk you through a little bit of my history as a YouTube creator. So back in 2009, I put up some stuff that was not relevant to what I've been doing the past year or two. And I'll come back to that question in a few minutes, Alex. But it's kind of funny is I came back onto YouTube because I wanted to advertise this. I had realized that my students love their YouTubers, and I figured I wanted to spread good things, and this is my book, and I wanted to spread the ideas in this book via YouTube, and I kind of fell in love with the platform, and so it started out where I was finding a chapter that was sort of speaking to me that day. So if I flip through it right now, love what you're learning. So this one is specifically talking about how so often we are being told to learn things that we don't want to. So in your spare time, find things that you do want to learn, and it will highly boost your confidence. So say I was just really feeling that chapter, it was really, really pertinent to me that day, I would just start talking about it. And the value of that is I'm sharing my life experience. I think one of the valuable things about what I've come to be able to do on this channel is take philosophies, take ideas and concepts that I know about. I can think about how I've applied them to my life, and then I can share about them. So ideally, almost every day I'm telling some sort of story, and the story is based on a concept that I've learned that I want to share with others, so that once they understand the concept and they can understand how to apply it to their own lives via my story, then they can gain value from it. So I would challenge your theory of needing to write things down. I can appreciate why you'd feel like that. But mine started with, I was driving to school. Well, so originally started me talking about the book, and then eventually I was not having enough time. So I just started throwing the camera on in my car, and I would just talk on the way to school. Sometimes I would listen to 5 minutes of an audiobook I was listening to until I was inspired, and then I'd start recording. And that was kind of how I did it for a little bit. That was April through June last year, and then I evolved to not recording in my car. But yeah, so that's what I would say about talking on the spot. It just takes practice, and I'm still not very concise. I'm very verbose. How do you do a good live stream? Well, Alex, I don't have a good answer for that. I guess that the question is, what is a good live stream to you? I'm guessing what you mean is having multiple people watching and having people have like a large total watch time by the end of the video and have people engaged. So I'll say some things I do, and I don't know if this answers your question because I don't know if my live streams are actually good or not, but have a couple topics to talk about. If people are here, so like at the beginning when I wasn't live streaming much, I would have one topic to talk about, and the problem would be if I stopped and I was like, I don't know what else to talk about, and there was one person on and then they dropped off, it'd be like, all right, well great, now I'm just talking to myself and this will just be recorded for later. So to make a good live stream, I would say probably have a couple ideas to talk about or entertaining things you plan on doing. Know what your timeline could be. So like I have kind of an open-ended timeline. I'd probably want to stop at about an hour and a half so I can sleep tonight. But maybe you have a good idea about how long you're willing to go for. I like a little bit of show and tell. I usually tell a story. I know that for playbacks, so like after the live stream is not live anymore and people are just watching after, I try to kind of hook people in with a story at the beginning because I think people are much more likely to hear and get roped into a story than they are some concepts and you talking about random stuff. So I think that kind of answers your question about that. I need to figure out what's going on with my health first so I have more motivation. Live stream is super fun for me until people comment and say, where's the old type of video streams? Well, I can see where that could be annoying / yeah, I totally get that. It would be like if people only started subscribing to me because of Gucci Gang. They're like, when's the next? Well, like if it were only people saying, when are you gonna do that, or what are you doing next? And if no one was appreciating what was right in front of them, I could see where that would be annoying. But if they're asking that, you could go all philosophical on them and say like, why do you like gaming? Why do you like watching live streams of gaming? And just try to start spitting your new philosophy on why that is not something that interests you anymore. Read your book for the second time and it's never gotten old. Thank you, Courtney. That's awesome. I'm curious what some of your favorite pieces are. Oh, interesting. So Wolflex saying consistency is what makes a good live stream. I guess I could agree with that. I mean, part of the reason that I did 3 live streams on like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were because I left my charger at school, and so my computer was pretty much dead. I couldn't edit on it. And so because I couldn't edit, I figured, well, I don't really want to edit on my phone, but live streaming's pretty fun. And I've kind of, in the past week, I've kind of fallen in love with this platform even more than like the daily kind of YouTube stuff that I've been doing. So it's been a great ride. I still can't believe we just broke 500 subscribers in less than a half an hour. That's still boggling my mind that just happened. One of the people I've been working with a lot is Ty Speaks. He's one of the other channels that I've collaborated with him a couple times. I meet up with him a little bit here and there. We now only live like 20 minutes from each other, but we've been talking to each other about how we can improve our craft, how we can grow our influence and just grow as YouTubers. And he's gonna blow his mind when I tell him that this happened. I've been telling him he's got to get on live stream because I think it's powerful to have an audience with you, like right here, like as I'm live, I can answer your questions if you have them, versus if it's just like old news and they're there's no interaction abilities, then I feel like it's that much harder. Hey Clifford. Cliff, I just hit 500 subscribers. I'm at 501. At the beginning of this live stream, we were at 492, I think, and during the live stream, we've gone up 8 or 9. I feel like idea 14 is a big one to follow now with the tech getting big. Let's see, you said 14? Let's take a look, Courtney. Let's see, live through not on your phone. One thing I know about myself is that I'm a game addict. I stop answering calls, texts, returning emails when I have a game that's on my mind. I start dreaming about it. It keeps me up at night. It's insane. Sometimes I give props to the game creator. They've made something that encompasses my mind and thoughts. An educated guess says that I've spent over 100 hours on Temple Run, 2048, Heyday, and countless hours on Madden Football. Now, given that I have many other responsibilities, this occurs like a distraction. In the past, I've given myself a goal that then deleted that game upon completing the goal. Now, some games upon completing goal, new opportunities open. I want to play more. We can all relate with that. What I've started doing is using this mental capacity for the better of my other responsibilities and aspirations. Some games have simply deleted, and when I have a craving to play the game, I find a friend or family member to contact and further the legacy I'll leave at my grave. I've looked at what type of interruption this game is in my life. I can see that it's time-consuming and not fulfilling something I am really committed to. I want to share an idea with you all. Actually, I'm going to be right back. I got to bring in the prop for it, a little show and tell. I'll be right back. So what that chapter just reminded me of, something very interesting about this cup for me. It's not necessarily the objectiveness of this cup, it's the subject of it. So what I was just saying in there was like some days when you're when you're playing games on your phone or you're doing technology or whatever, you just get sucked in, a couple hours pass by and you're like, well, shoot. That's time gone down the drain for my life. And then there's some days where you're like, nope, putting the game down, getting my work done, like I'm gonna do good for my life. I'm gonna, as I said, further my legacy towards what I leave at the grave. And some days have been very much more successful with this than others. Later, Courtney, thanks for contributing and thanks for being with me there. So, if any of you have seen The Matrix, you all know that at the beginning of The Matrix, they say, do you want to take the red pill or the blue pill? And what happens is when they take the red pill, he goes down the rabbit hole and finds out what the Matrix is. Blue pill, he forgets it ever happened and goes back to his normal life. And I think there's a part of us that are always we want to see behind the curtain. And one time, it was when my wife and I were watching The Matrix together, and this is when we were first like month of dating, and Alyssa was like, "Hey, can you grab me some water from the kitchen?" So I go over to the kitchen cabinet, and admittedly, I think we stole these in college from like a Chinese restaurant, but we had a Coca-Cola one and a blue Pepsi one. And so I looked over at her and I was geeking out. I said to her, Alyssa, do you want the red cup or the blue cup? And we both chose, we just shared drinking out of the red cup. But ever since that day, in the morning when we've been in our own apartment, not living with my parents because we weren't using our own like cups and silver and stuff, every morning I would go into the cabinet and I'd grab a drink of water. And so I'd look at the two cups and I'd say, do I want the red one or the blue one? And what I found was that if I took that sort of intentional moment to say, I'm gonna choose the red one. And for me, the red one's like, this is gonna be a day that I'm really trying to meet my potential. Versus blue would be like, this is a day where I'm just gonna slack off, watch Netflix and YouTube and not comment on anything and just slack and chill and play video games. And I think there's a really deep part of me that really wants to be the part that's trying to meet his potential every day. And I think we get tired sometimes, and I think we get in bad habits sometimes, and that leads us to slowing us down. But I've found it really valuable just having the choice every morning to say, do I really want to go for my potential today? Or do I want to be, kind of average and chill and not put in all the work today? And I think just by giving it's like such a simple idea, but I couldn't tell you what it's done. I couldn't tell you what it's actually done for me, but I just feel like it's made a huge difference in starting the day every day, really choosing at the beginning of the day whether I wanted to crush it or not. And two other things that have caused in my daily routine are I've trained myself to wake up to my alarm clock within about 7 seconds. That has been a game changer for me. I don't know if anyone else on here has ever had that ability, but this is... shoot, just lost my train of thought. I forget what I was just gonna say. It was one day when I was late for work back in, I think it was 2015, and I came in to work just a couple minutes late. It wasn't like a big problem. I got there a little bit after the bell, still took attendance and everything, and it wasn't a big deal afterwards, but in the moment when I was late, I was like, I think this is the latest I've ever been. I was so upset with myself. And so at that point in time, I was like one of those 7 alarm types of people. I'd set 7 alarms. The first 6 would be like the same tone, and then the 7th one would be a different tone. So I'd know, oh shoot, like I really got to get going here. Bring some urgency to the morning. And one of my friends, Lauren, she said to me, so many of us start our day lying to ourselves. And is that really a good way to start your day, by lying to yourself? And she said, how many of you hit the snooze button at least once in the morning? And like half the room raised their hand. And she said, I want you to think about that. You tell yourself you're going to wake up at a certain time in the morning, and you just totally lie to yourself every day. So when it comes to integrity with yourself and having a commitment to something and promising something and being your word because you say so, you're failing first thing in the morning when you could be not failing. So after that sort of pep talk, I was like, damn, I lie to myself more than just once every morning. I lie to myself like 7 times every morning. I'm not gonna wake up after the 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, or 6th one. It's only the 7th one. Why am I even bothering? Why not just set the last alarm that I want to wake up with? So the next day, that night, I said to myself, I'm setting 1 alarm. And I was scared poopless that I was not going to wake up to it. And so I set 1 alarm. I put it at the foot of my bed. It was definitely going to be loud enough. I knew it would be loud enough to wake me, and I knew I would be guilty enough to go turn it off, because I didn't want to wake up my wife for very long. So that night I did not sleep. I was so scared that I was going to miss that alarm. Like I just kept waking up in the middle of the night, like nervous, like, whoa, like did I miss it or not? And I finally, it finally went off. I got up right immediately. It was probably the fastest I've ever turned off an alarm, because I had been like anticipating it for like all the hours of sleep that night. And I said, all right, the next 3 weeks are the most important weeks of the rest of my life. And I said, every day I'm going to do this. And so I said, for 21 straight days, I'm going to have the same alarm. It's on the iPhone, it's called Silk. And I'm going to wake up to that every morning, and I'm going to be straight up. First alarm, not snoozing, just getting up and doing it. And ever since that day, I have been, as long as Alyssa's there, and as long as the phone is on about maybe like a couple feet away from the foot of the bed, I'm able to wake up in about 7 seconds. Now, it's easy to get back into old habits. If it's on my nightstand right next to me, I still hit snooze. If Alyssa's not there and there's nothing to guilt trip me into turning it off, I'll just keep it on. But for the most part, as long as those two things are consistent, where the phone is away from me and my wife is there with me, I can get up and turn it off within 7 seconds every day. So that's been a proud moment that kind of goes along with this, and really trying to make your day start off on the right foot. 506, you kidding me? Oh my God. What have I done to deserve this wonderful pleasure? I just don't really even feel worthy of this. This is sick. I can't believe I'm at 506. Jacob, you subscribed to another channel of yours? Dashboard. 506, that's crazy. Man, thank you guys so much. Man, what was that, like 14 in just over an hour? I'm humbled. It's time to put glasses on. Yes, I can see better. Just kidding. There's no lenses in these. They're just clear. Sometimes I put them on to give myself sort of a different persona. Dude, I can't believe it's at 506 right now. This is historical right now. This reminds me of the moment when back in, I think it was like February 10th or something, when I realized that my Super Bowl reaction video was all of a sudden like doing really, really well. It was at 75 within the first like 2 or 3 hours. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. And then the next day it was at 200, and I only had like 3 or 4 videos above 200. And then like 5 hours later it was at 700. I was like, oh damn. And then like the next day it was at like 2,000, and I was like, my mind was blown. And then I kept checking in like every hour, and it was going up like another like 500 or 1,000. And I was just like, I feel like I need to do something to capitalize on this. Like, I'm getting so many views right now. Like, I feel like I should be doing something right now. So like if I had that opportunity again in the past, so at that time I was actually demoing the room below me, I think I would literally ask my father-in-law to stop work and figure out how to go live stream. Part of it was I didn't have Wi-Fi nearby, and I didn't know how I could go about live streaming without being super laggy, but I think that would have been the wise thing. I think if I had recognized the opportunity in it, I would have said, I need to go to Starbucks and live stream, or I need to just find Wi-Fi, or like go home right now and start live streaming. And I think, I mean, if I just got 14 subscribers in an hour, which I still don't really get how that just happened, but I think you gotta take opportunities like that to make it happen. I'm subscribing to accounts because it said the thing share on the old channel came out on my old channel. Subbed. Oh, awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. This is the coolest though. I'm glad you were all here for the 500 to happen like live. That's awesome. Also, this is also kind of cool because I was thinking to myself, there are some other people that were right around 500 and we're talking about 500 that I found recently, and I was like, I'm gonna beat them. I gotta do it, just for my own like personal pride. I'm not gonna rub it in their face or anything, but it happened. Pumped. Whew. All right. I'm actually starting to feel kind of tired. Jacob, thank you so much for contributing to me. I really appreciate it. Let's see, you can send me an email at ideasovercoffeebook@gmail.com, or you can Facebook message me. I'm usually a bit slower receiving those, or just leave me in the comments or something if you want to leave a link to a video. So like, let's do an interview thing. So you create a video of an interview question you want to answer, and I will just download the clip from an unlisted video, and then I will make it look like an interview, and that's just how we're gonna collaborate. That's how we'll do it. It's actually pretty easy, and people have no idea that we're, one, not in the same room, and two, not even like in the same, like answering it at the same time. All right, sounds good, man. I look forward to doing that with you. I'd love to see you shift your channel to what you really want, and leverage the work that you've already put in, even though it's totally different. Like, I mean, think about all the gamers' lives that you could change because they subscribed to your channel before, and now you get to improve their lives even more and maybe help them see past their gaming ways of life. I think it could be pretty awesome. All right, hey, my weird family.